much worse is it now than the last time we spoke to you? Several more weeks have passed, and if anything, things are getting worse. The pandemic is also resurging in some areas.
Well, it's getting worse because, as the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. People need vision. People need clarity. Markets need clarity. They hate foggy. They hate messy. And what we have now is a bunch of messy and people playing games with people's lives. And it's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's not amusing. And this is not the American way. So, yes, things are worse because people don't know what their next step looks like. And half of this economy, half of our country are small businesses. And so when mainstream America has a headache, black and brown folks have pneumonia, but we're all sick.
Talk to us about Atlanta, where you're coming to us from, and who you've managed to have conversations with over the last few days. Has the president's diagnosis changed anything about the tenor of those conversations?
Yes, it's confirmed that we've got a reality show in Washington, D.C., not a government. And I don't like criticizing anybody in power. I don't think that criticism in and of itself is productive. But a critique is that this is not about me. It's about we. This is not funny. This is the things that are happening in the last week are not helpful. And saying that we're going to call off stimulus discussions, as an example, is just not a productive conversation for the people who've got too much month at the end of their money, which is not just black and brown people, Lonnie, it's everybody. 70% of this economy is consumer spending. 70% of Americans are living from paycheck to paycheck. 64% of Americans don't have $400 for an unplanned event before COVID hit. And so this is just sort of downright cruel. And what we need now is a battle plan. We're at war. We're at war with the virus. We're at war, and what we need is a long-term strategic battle plan, not to be doing tactical brush fires.
You work with the Atlanta Fed, and I wanted to bring up something that our Bloomberg Economics' Andrew Hoosby brought attention to today, and that's the idea that the Fed, which has said now it is going to try everything in its toolbox to try to target minority unemployment, and really just zone in on some areas that perhaps could do better in an economy that's, thriving in normal times. So my question to you is, what does that mean to you that perhaps we won't get stimulus, but at least the Federal Reserve might be willing to keep interest rates lower for longer and target black unemployment?
Now, this is a beautiful pivot. I just gave a critique, and now let me give a compliment. It's brilliant. Chairman Powell's approach, and the Fed president here, the first black Fed president in the history of the Fed, by the way, Raphael Bostic, the whole Fed system has done a really great job through the Fed window of keeping Wall Street relevant. The reason that the markets are so stable, the investor class, you have the real economy and the investor class economy, is because in large part, the Fed window has stayed open and they've signaled strength and long-term support for the markets. So the stocks are booming, companies are booming, capital's flowing. What I think Fed Chairman Powell is trying to do now is to translate that into the real economy by injecting, again, confidence and a long-term vision, saying the Fed system it needs a software upgrade for the times. That means that we need to understand that everybody didn't start this monopoly game in the same place. Some people started 400 years late with 1/20th of the capital and 1/100th of the information in the relationship capital. We need to give them a fair shot at success. Again, not a hand out, but a hand up. And I think that this is good for everybody. Atlanta is a strange place. We're the largest economy in the South. We're the only international city in the South, the biggest airport in the South. But we decided 60 years ago to argue over who got the money, not what color you were. So the color was green, not black or white. So you have the biggest black business population in America is in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. The biggest black middle class is in Atlanta, and that growth has benefited everybody. That's sort of what I think the Fed is signaling. And I think that if we can get business that are watching Bloomberg to do things, pieces that are in the new Marshall Plan, we're going to, at our forum, carve out some pieces around black business in particular, a big initiative in 2 weeks, and really start hammering on internships, hammering on apprenticeships at scale, hammering on the thing that drives job creation, at least in these neighborhoods, small business growth and stability. That plus the Fed effort, plus Treasury. Treasury's doing a good job. I think we can turn this corner and turn this from a storm into a rainbow.
So what are you looking for out of tonight's debate, John?
Common sense, reason, rationality, a plan. America needs to know from one or hopefully both of these candidates that there is a plan. And we need to hear this. Please hear me. This is about we, not about me, as in you. It's not about you. It's about us. It's usism, right? And we need to understand that, just like I say in my book, Up From Nothing, that America can't succeed unless you succeed. The big business, I tell my rich friends need my poor friends to stay better, if only to stay rich, because all of us are interconnected. And we need to hear a practical, rational plan for the uplifting of all Americans from these candidates tonight, with as much specificity, dates, times, and deadlines as possible.